Ever scrolled through your phone and felt like everyone else is winning at life? New houses, fancy cars, exotic vacations? It's a constant stream of success. But what you're seeing is just the highlight reel. No one posts about their struggles or the debt behind those celebrations. Social media creates a powerful illusion that you're falling behind in a race that doesn't really exist. We're wired to compare ourselves, but when the info is skewed, so are our conclusions. Suddenly your used car feels like failure, your rented apartment feels like you're not making it, and saving a little seems pointless. This cycle of comparison leads to anxiety and bad financial decisions. The truth? The belief that everyone else is rich is one of the biggest financial myths of our generation. Algorithms show us only the shiniest objects, reinforcing this myth. But what if you're actually doing better than you think? The reality of your peers' finances is probably much closer to your own. It's time to pull back the curtain and look at the real numbers. Let's dismantle the myth, piece by piece. You're not alone in feeling behind. Most people are just trying to keep up too. Let's see where we actually stand. The truth is more relatable and more encouraging than you think. So, what does the average young professional's finances really look like? Forget the Lamborghinis and Rolexes. The real story is about steady progress, manageable debt, and building a solid foundation. Most people aren't jet-setting. They're budgeting for groceries and making car payments. Official stats show a much more relatable picture: median incomes, average savings, and typical net worth. Financial growth is usually slow and steady, not a rocket launch. Seeing these benchmarks helps recalibrate your expectations. You're likely right on track with your peers. We'll break down the numbers that matter: income, savings, debt, and net worth. This isn't about shaming or ranking, it's about context. The goal: replace financial anxiety with clarity. When you know where the average person stands, you gain perspective on your own journey. Stop chasing illusions. Focus on what's real. Feel confident in your progress. Make smarter decisions for your future. It's time to stop guessing. Let's dive into the data and see where you really rank. Let's talk income, the number we use to measure success. Social media makes it seem like everyone's earning six figures by 25, but those are the outliers. The reality for most young professionals is much more modest. The median household income in the US is about $75,000, but that's for households, not individuals. For individuals aged 25 to 34, the median is around $50,000 to $55,000 a year. Half of your peers earn less than that. If you're making more, you're already in the top half. Income varies by location and industry, but the national median gives us a baseline. Six-figure salaries are not the standard, they're concentrated in specific fields and expensive cities. Sometimes, $60,000 in a low-cost area goes further than $100,000 in San Francisco. Understanding this context silences that voice saying you're not earning enough. It's not about lowering ambitions, but setting realistic benchmarks. If you're at or above the median, you're succeeding. You're building a career and progressing with your peers. The goal isn't to match a tech salary unless that's your path. It's about building a sustainable financial life and growing steadily. Now, let's talk savings. It feels like everyone else is maxing out retirement accounts and building huge emergency funds. But the average American isn't a super saver. The personal saving rate often hovers between 3% and 6% of disposable income. That's $30 to $60 saved for every $1,000 earned. For Americans under 35, the median savings account balance is just over $3,000. Why so low? Young professionals juggle entry-level salaries, student loans, and high living costs. The person saving thousands a month might have family help or no debt. For most, saving is slow and methodical. If you're saving 10 to 15% of your income, you're ahead of the curve. An emergency fund covering a few months' expenses puts you in a strong position. Stop comparing your savings to a mythical ideal. Every dollar set aside is a win. Real financial security is built quietly, not for social media. To get the full picture, we have to talk about debt. Debt is common but rarely discussed openly. You see the new car, not the 5-year loan, the degree, not the 6-figure student debt. Most young professionals carry debt: student loans, credit cards, auto loans. The average student loan for recent grads is about $30,000. For grad degrees, it's often over $100,000. Under 35, the average credit card balance is over $3,700. Auto loans average $20,000. Most people are managing a mix of debts, not living debt-free. That friend with the new car, they've added a big monthly payment. The couple with a new house, they now have a huge mortgage. These decisions come with trade-offs. If you're paying down debt and avoiding unnecessary loans, you're building real financial strength. True financial health is often quiet and unseen. So why does it feel like everyone else is doing better? Enter the social media distortion field. Online, reality is filtered and edited. Everyone shares their wins, not their worries. This creates a skewed sense of what's normal, making the exceptional seem common. Think about your feed: promotions, new purchases, trips, never the stress or setbacks. We're wired to share success and hide vulnerability, and social media amplifies this. Over time, this shifts your internal benchmark for doing well. You start comparing yourself to a highlight reel, not reality. The first step to breaking free: recognize it's all a performance. When envy strikes, remember, you're seeing one curated moment, not the full story. That vacation photo doesn't show the months of saving or the debt behind it. Understanding this isn't cynicism, it's protecting your mental and financial well-being. The social media distortion influences how we act, leading to the burden of keeping up with the Joneses. Now, you're trying to keep up with hundreds of digital Joneses, all of whom seem to be living bigger and better lives. This pressure to match lifestyles we see online can lead to destructive financial mistakes. This manifests as lifestyle inflation that isn't supported by income. The most insidious part of this burden is its silence. The struggle is private, while the appearance of wealth is public. Breaking free requires a conscious shift in mindset. It means defining success on your own terms, and disconnecting spending from the validation of others. It is the only way to build genuine, sustainable wealth. Another powerful myth amplified by our hyper-connected world is the idea of the overnight success. We're constantly bombarded with stories of 22-year-old tech founders who become millionaires, or crypto investors who strike it rich in just a few months. These sensational tales dominate headlines and social media feeds, creating the impression that immense wealth can be generated quickly, and honestly, with very little effort. But this narrative is not only misleading, it's also incredibly damaging to the financial psyche of the average person who is building their wealth the old-fashioned way, slowly and consistently over time. The reality is that almost every so-called overnight success is actually decades in the making. That startup founder you read about? Chances are they spent years coding in their dorm room, facing countless rejections and failures before their company finally took off. That real estate investor who seems to own dozens of properties? They probably started with a single small duplex and spent like 20 years slowly saving, reinvesting, and leveraging their assets. The media loves to focus on the dramatic final outcome, but they conveniently skip the long, boring, and arduous journey that preceded it. True wealth is rarely a sprint, it's a marathon of discipline. This myth is particularly dangerous because it encourages risky behavior. When you believe that massive gains are possible in a short time, you're more likely to be tempted by get-rich-quick schemes. You might feel tempted to pour your savings into a speculative, high-risk investment you don't fully understand, hoping to catch the next big wave. Or you might feel that your slow and steady approach of contributing to a 401k is pointless when others are seemingly making fortunes overnight. This can lead you to abandon a sound, proven strategy in favor of a gamble that is far more likely to set you back than propel you forward. The antidote to this myth is to embrace the power of compounding and consistency. Building wealth is not about hitting a home run, it's about getting on base day after day, year after year. It's about automating your savings, investing in diversified, low-cost index funds, and letting time do the heavy lifting. This path isn't glamorous, it won't make headlines, but it is the most reliable and proven path to financial independence for the vast majority of people. You have to ignore the siren song of the overnight success and trust in the process. Your future self will thank you for choosing the boring, steady climb over the risky and likely imaginary shortcut. Now that we've deconstructed the illusions created by social media and the myth of overnight success, it's time to tackle an even more pervasive untruth: the myth of perfect financial health. This idealized image is not only false, but it sets an impossible standard. The reality is that no one has a perfect financial life. Financial management is a dynamic and ongoing process of planning, adjusting, and learning from your errors. If you've made financial missteps, and honestly, we all have, you are not a failure. The goal is to build resilience. Stop chasing the illusion of perfection and start embracing the reality of progress. Your financial health is a journey, not a destination. One of the biggest realizations is that more money doesn't eliminate financial problems, it just changes them. We tend to believe that reaching a certain income means all our money worries would magically disappear. The truth is, new and complex financial challenges emerge as your assets grow. The game doesn't end, the level of difficulty just increases. A wealthy individual might be stressed about managing a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. A high net worth person might be dealing with complicated estate planning. Wealth often brings new social pressures. You may have friends or family asking for loans. You might become a target for lawsuits or sophisticated investment scams. The point is to demystify wealth and dismantle the myth that it is a cure-all for financial anxiety. Everyone faces their own unique set of challenges. Understanding this can be liberating. Financial well-being is about developing the skills to manage your resources effectively. It's easy to feel alone in your financial worries. Talking about money struggles is often taboo. This creates the illusion of isolation. But financial anxiety is a near universal experience. Money is a top cause of stress for Americans across all income brackets. People worry about retirement, healthcare, and unexpected expenses. That confident colleague, they likely have money worries too. You are not an outlier. Realizing this shared struggle eases anxiety. You're not alone. We're in this together. The way we measure financial success is broken. Social media's scoreboard only tracks flashy purchases and high salaries, not financial health or peace of mind. It's time to create a new one, based on metrics that build lasting wealth and security. Focus on what you can control. Celebrate increasing your savings rate or paying off debt. These victories matter in the long run. Track your savings rate, debt-to-income ratio, and net worth. These are your private measures of success. This frees you from comparison and allows you to find motivation in your own journey. Reclaim your financial narrative and build a life rich in security and confidence. Let's make new scoreboards actionable, right now. Here's a simple 3-step guide to your own financial self-check. This will give you a snapshot of where you stand, based on the metrics that matter. It will take less than an hour, but the perspective can last a lifetime. Grab a notebook or open a spreadsheet, and let's get a clear, private, and honest look at your finances. Step 1. Calculate your net worth. List everything you own, your assets, like bank accounts, retirement funds, investments, car, and home. Then list everything you owe, your liabilities including student loans, credit card debt, car loan, and mortgage. Subtract liabilities from assets. The result is your net worth. Step 2. Determine your savings rate to see how effectively you're building wealth. Divide your total monthly savings by your total monthly take-home pay and multiply by 100. That percentage is your savings rate. Step 3. Face your monthly cash flow to understand where your money is going. For 1 month, track every dollar you spend. Compare spending to income. Are you in a surplus or deficit? This reveals your habits, showing where your financial power is directed, so you can make intentional changes. Now that you've gone through the self-check, you have clarity. This clarity is a powerful tool for reducing anxiety and making better decisions. Share this exercise with one other person in your life. Think of a friend or coworker who feels the same pressures you do. Send them a link to this video. By sharing the process, you are sharing a tool for empowerment and helping to break the culture of silence. Imagine conversations about money shifting to shared knowledge and mutual support. This is bigger than just you. It's about changing the entire conversation around money. Share the gift of clarity. We started by confronting the myth that everyone else is richer and more successful than you are. This illusion is carefully constructed through social media and a culture that celebrates wealth. This creates a cycle of anxiety, making us feel inadequate. We dismantled that myth using data to reveal the real financial lives of young professionals. This journey is about reclaiming your perspective. Your peers are grappling with the same challenges. Internalizing this truth is critical toward building a healthy relationship with money. You can finally step off the exhausting treadmill of comparison and build a strong financial foundation. Fancy cars, exotic vacations, and high salaries are not the true measure of financial success. The real indicators are often invisible. It's the peace of mind from having a fully funded emergency fund. The true measure is your personal savings rate. It is the decision to pay your future self first. This is a more powerful indicator of your future wealth than your current paycheck. Real financial success is the downward trend of your liabilities. It's the freedom from paying off credit card debt. Ultimately, the truest measure is progress, not perfection. Start celebrating your own quiet, steady progress. Now, with a clearer understanding of your financial standing, what now? The path forward doesn't require drastic changes. Focus on small, consistent actions. The journey to financial independence is a marathon, not a sprint. Make the financial self-check a regular habit. Automate your progress to ensure you are consistently moving forward. Even if you start small, the habit is more important than the amount. Commit to continuous, lifelong learning. The more you know, the more confident you will become in your decisions. Your path forward is paved with these small, intentional steps. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final empowering thought. Where you rank financially today is just a single snapshot in time. It is not your destiny. Your income, your net worth, and your debt level do not define your worth as a person. They are simply data points on a much longer journey. The most important takeaway from this entire discussion is that you have the power to change your financial trajectory. By letting go of destructive myths, focusing on what you can control, and taking small, consistent actions, you can build the financial life you desire on your own terms and on your own timeline. The goal was never to tell you that you are rich. The goal was to show you that you are likely doing much better than you think, and that you are not alone in your struggles. It was to replace the anxiety of comparison with the confidence of clarity. I hope you now feel a renewed sense of control over your financial life and a sense of optimism about your future. Remember the real numbers, remember the hidden struggles of others, and most importantly, remember that your personal progress is the only benchmark that truly matters. You have what it takes to succeed in this journey. Now for the important part, the disclaimer. It is crucial to understand that the information provided in this essay is for educational and informational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor, and the content presented here should not be considered as financial, legal, or tax advice. The data and examples used are meant to be illustrative and to provide a general understanding of financial topics. Your personal financial situation is unique, and the strategies that work for one person may not be suitable for you. You should always conduct your own research and due diligence. Before making any significant financial decisions, it is highly recommended that you consult with a qualified professional who can take into account your individual circumstances and goals. A certified financial planner, a certified public accountant, or a licensed attorney can provide you with personalized advice tailored to your specific needs. They can help you navigate the complexities of investing, retirement planning, and estate management. Taking charge of your financial education is the first step, and seeking professional guidance is a sign of wisdom and a crucial part of building a secure financial future. Thank you for joining me on this journey.